Hey y'all, Jamie here for Dig It Homesteading, and if y'all were with me yesterday, we went and ran around the garden and harvested a lot of things. So unfortunately this morning, November 1st, was our first frost. That never happens. Our first frost is usually the very end of November or the first part of December. And I'm gonna warn you now, I might complain a little bit. As you can see, I don't even have my winter stuff out. I am currently in my husband's stolen hoodie, and I hate cold. I hate it so much. But we have got so much stuff here. We've got the nuts that I foraged for the other day that we need to get done. We've got some Roselle back here. If you haven't seen that, I do have a video. Sorry, my light's still horrible. I have a video about those. So I will process those off camera since y'all have already seen about that. I have my sweet potatoes from another video, my sweet potato leaves, still sitting out. They're starting to turn yellow, so I'm gonna have to pick through those, clean those. It has been chaos around here lately. My big giant cucuzzi squash. And I have been using one, and I think I'm going to use part of one today. And then we have all of these tomatoes. I just picked them yesterday. And you see, I've already got one that's starting to ripe. So I'm going to dig through here and see if there's any more that's going to ripen, and then I have to come up with a plan. I either need to find a green tomato recipe, do fried green tomatoes, whatever along those lines, or maybe a canning recipe for them, my one okra. And I definitely want to get to this basket. It's all my peppers that we went through and harvested. All these lovely peppers. I'm just going to chop them up, put them in a freezer bag, and just use them as chopped bell pepper as I need them. But then I have these. Y'all, that one's like as big as my face. These are eggplants, and I've already gifted one. I brought one to my parents yesterday. So we definitely need to get to preserving this today, and we'll see how far we get, because I'm also editing a video for you guys, so I'm gonna go check on that. Oh, and one little bitty tiny white one. I don't know what else is out there since it did freeze this morning, and I trusted the weather. We went to the movies last night, so we didn't get a chance to put out the frost fabric, and I regretted it this morning, but I did run out there. Top tip, if you do like I did and thought about putting your frost fabric, trusted that the weather wasn't going to freeze, then run to the movies, and then you wake up and there's a freeze, run out there before the sun hits it and hose off your plants as quick as you can, and that will defrost them so the so your plants don't burst whenever the sun hits it. That's what kills your plant. So I went out there, hosed off everybody who was having an issue, and we plan to put the frost fabric on tonight, because tomorrow morning I think the feels like it's going to be 29, at least the last I checked. I'm already sick of the cold. It ain't supposed to be cold. This is supposed to be fall. Could y'all please let our weather know this is supposed to be fall? So this one we picked the other day, and it has damage on it, and it's been sitting out on my counter, so it really needs to get used up. I'll try to show you in the light a little bit better. But it's getting wrinkly and it has some damaged spots, so I'm going to cut it open and see whatever's usable in this. And if nothing's usable, oh well, the chickens can have it or the worms can have it. It won't go to waste. But I have a big one, really big one over here I want to do something with. And I think between this one, and the few that I still have left in the bed, I can make another lasagna with later this week. And that lasagna was delicious. So let's cut this guy open, see whatever's usable, and if not, we'll move over to this one. By the way, you see how it's still super duper shiny? It could have went longer. So it's not even starting to get dull at all. So who knows how big this thing could have got, but it was hanging over the side of the bed and I didn't want to risk it. But I can't wait to grow these again next year. And by the way, we are going to make baba ganoush for the first time ever. We've had it, we've enjoyed it, but I've never made it. I don't know why, but now I have the perfect specimen to try it with. We're just gonna move most of this out of the way. The kids are gonna want to go through and help crack nuts. We do have a mechanical nut cracker, which I think I got from my grandmother. Pretty sure I did. And I will pick through these. I think I might check in how I can freeze them. I don't know. That, or I might just saute them tonight. Any of them that aren't yellow. Saute them with butter. And we'll give them a taste. Anything that isn't yellowing. Like they're just starting to yellow. So they're still good. They're just not fresh as best, but let's get into this. So let's cut this open and see what we got going on in here. And so you know, this recipe that I'm following, I'll try to remember to link it below. It says no food processor required. I don't know about that. I'll probably still put it through the food processor, but we'll see. Nice. So that part, which are probably bug stings, don't go all the way in, which I am glad to see. I believe this recipe calls for 2 pounds of eggplant, and I'm not going to weigh this out. At least I'm not at the moment. And you're technically supposed to just cut this in half, but since we're going on a excavation mission, we're just going to wing it. Daddy, how do you like when I wing things?
It sounds like good, but you forget the best.
So it's a good thing that I'm filming things, huh? So now, whenever I just wing things, we can go back and check on what I did. I'm going to cut out all that. Whatever it is. I don't know if the chickens like eggplant. I guess we're going to find out. Get them funky bits over there, and we still have a very large amount of this. I'm gonna go rinse it off and then we'll finish. Change of plans. The husband's going to get in our scales so we can, for one, weigh these out for the recipe, and then figure out how much this bad boy weighs. Okay, so that one is 1 pound, 2 ounces. This little one is a little over, so we will use both of these to make a buttload of baba ganoush. Then we'll have the big mamma jamma to make lasagna with again. So let's see just how much this thing weighs. What you guess?
Let me see. Oh.
Denser?
4 pounds.
Denser than you thought?
Yeah.
4 pound even?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say 4.5. We're both dumb. Yeah, that feels a whole lot heavier than the two of those together. But anyway, I don't remember how much my other big one weighed. Do you remember?
No.
Alright, so I'm going to just chop this one in half. Well, I might quarter it. Because this says we are going to, well, for one, I need to remove some bug damage on this one as well. But it's more, well, not quite as bad as the other one. And I still don't know what caused this damage. I'd say probably leaf-footed bugs. That's been the most problematic pest I've seen this year. Yeah, let's quarter it so it cooks quicker. Because these are going to take a while. In that little bit of time, this one's already started browning. So they start browning quickly. I'm going to lay all of these out on this pan. And then we are going to get them prepared for the oven. And it calls for garlic. I had to buy some garlic because my garlic harvest wasn't that great. So I saw another recipe that said about roasting the garlic, and this one calls for raw garlic. Let's see how much. 2 medium cloves of garlic. That is not enough garlic for our family, I think. Jeez, I think I need a sharper knife. We're gonna open this up. Wow, that's pretty much 3 cloves of garlic. That's crazy. This whole head is like 3 giant cloves of garlic. But I'm gonna open this up and I'm gonna set it on the pan too for now. Okay, so we are going to prepare the garlic first because we are going to make roasted garlic. It calls for 2 medium cloves, and this is 4 large cloves. So that's just about double, which works well for me. And I think the roasted garlic would add absolutely lovely flavor to this. Plus, we like a lot of garlic. So I am just going to take my hands, yes, they're clean, and just rub all of this eggplant down with a little bit of olive oil, and then we're going to face them down, cut side down. And some of them do have 2 cut sides, but I'm going to put them the thickest cut side down, like that. Alright, that's what everybody looks like, and I have the oven on 350, and we're going to roast this 35 to 40 minutes. It says if you have bigger eggplants, then it might take a little bit longer. So if you have just regular, you know, the smaller size eggplants, then that a lot of us do grow, then this would cook quicker. So just keep that in mind and keep an eye on it if you have smaller eggplants. And I will show you what it looks like coming out of the oven and what we need to do next. This is what they look like just out of the oven. So I'm going to flip it over. Look how mushy that is in there. That looks pretty good to me. You want it super mush, because you want this to blend up quite well, whether you're using a food processor or not. Alright, so we're going to let this all cool, and then we'll come back and carry on. While these are cooling, I'm going to go ahead and add to my pepper bag, which it's getting crystally. So I do recommend the vacuum sealing them if you're not going to use them quick. This bag has been reused quite a bit, so it might actually have a little tiny hole somewhere. Oh, yeah, I hear it. So I'm going to get a different bag. And then get rid of this one. It's done its dues. That's why it's all crystally, because there is a hole in it. But I'm going to just get all these lovely peppers chopped up and added to my freezer bag of peppers. It's a very odd shaped bell pepper, but I'm pretty sure that's the only purple pepper I grew this year. It's always iffy around here with peppers. Definitely smells like a bell pepper. You know, some people might be really disappointed if they get a teeny tiny bell pepper like that. But my thought process is any harvest is better than no harvest. Alright, so I think that's cool enough to the touch. We got the tiny bit of okra chopped up. And then I found my other bag of peppers, which probably had about this much, so I combined the two into the newer bag. And we're going to get all those frozen and get all this sorted, and I'll show you what you need to do. I have a colander sitting on a plate. You could put a bowl under it. I don't think there's going to be that much moisture, but we'll see. And adjust as needed. And the whole idea is to dig the pulp out and leave the skin. So my go-to tool is usually a butter knife. So I'm going to see, for one, if I can just tear the skin. I like that idea. Let it just peel away instead of trying to scoop out the stuff. I think either way would work. And I have no idea what is the more traditional way of doing it. And I don't necessarily think this is fully traditional baba ganoush. You'll have to let me know if you know. I think there's definitely going to be some missing ingredients from what I've been reading. So we're just going to get all that skin off. And we're going to put all of these in here and let it drain all the moisture out, which these are not really wet anyway. Let's see if we can just go in barehanded. There we go. Have a little fur on my finger. Let me know if you have cats. We have cats, and this is the time of year I usually find a little piece of fluff here and there. And have to be extra careful. And I think I'm going to take this piece off too, because it was kind of hard. Alright, I'm going to just get all of these done, and we're going to set it in there and let it drain. Maybe even mush it around like this, so all the water can go out into the bottom. All the skins and parts that I've cut off today, I'm just putting in a little bin, and we will take that out to the chickens. And you can see there is some moisture coming out and a few seeds. You could do this in a finer sieve. I just didn't want eggplant to get mushed into a finer sieve and lose part of my product. So up to you. And I'm going to just keep stirring this, maybe move some up the sides. That way all the holes aren't blocking and everything can drain. Wash my hands, let this go for a little bit, and then come back and finish this up and taste it. Now the recipe says you can't just go through with a fork to mush it all up instead of using a food processor. I am going to use a food processor just because that's what I feel like doing. And there's our roasted garlic. Y'all, that smells delicious. Okay, let me get everything ready. Okay, so let's get our dip finished. I am going to just put all of this eggplant in the food processor. And then we're gonna add this very carefully, which is 1/4 of a cup of tahini, and that is toasted sesame paste. I'll show you. Maybe not toasted. Sesame paste. So basically sesame butter, like peanut butter, but made with sesame. And I will see if I can link this cool measurer down below. I absolutely love it for things like peanut butter and tahini. Makes it getting all of it out very easy. We're gonna add 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, which is probably all I have left in this thing. I don't really use a lot of lemon juice. I usually substitute it for lime juice. Yeah, that'll be just perfect. And we're also going to squeeze out, not the paper, we're going to squeeze out our garlic. Uh-oh, some of it came that way. And this smells divine. I think this might have been an excellent choice. Gives some extra deliciousness. So if you do that, make sure you rub the extra paper off so this doesn't happen to you, where your paper's falling in, because I obviously didn't. But I'm going to try to get every last little bit out of this out. And I'm going to go ahead and put the spices or seasonings in as well. It calls for 3/4 of a teaspoon. And we're going to add just a tad bit more. 1/4 a teaspoon of ground cumin. And I am eyeballing. That looks pretty good. 2 tablespoons of chopped fresh parsley. Well, I don't have chopped fresh parsley. I have dried parsley. So I'm going to do about 1 teaspoon instead of 2 tablespoons since this is dried. And we are going to put the lid on it. And I'm going to start processing this. And we're going to drizzle in some olive oil. And I want it to be kind of like a hummus consistency. So it calls for 1/3 of a cup of olive oil, and as you saw, I didn't measure. But that consistency looks good to me. Alright, sorry if it's getting a little dark in here, but this is where we're at. Had to stop what I was doing and run around and do some chores outside. Might include that here, but you can see I'm taking some help from the store with some pre-sliced and pre-chopped broccoli and mushrooms. We pretty much always have these baby carrots. So we're going to put together a vegetable tray and cut up cucumber and cauliflower to dip this in. You can also use pita chips, and pretzels would probably be good. But we're going to go ahead and get this put together, and whatever we don't eat with our dinner tonight, we will be munching on for the rest of the week. And I might just set these here because I don't think they are going to do well. Plus this thing has 4 sections. So I might leave these out for us to dip from. And then I'll put them in their own little airtight container. But we are just going to pull apart some of these bigger broccoli florets as we go. I usually like to get my own broccoli and cut it up. Well, not my own grown, because I've never grown it. I need to, because Look, this pre-chopped stuff just isn't always that quality stuff you're looking for. It might be convenient, but it isn't always the best. So I usually get the actual head of broccoli and chop it myself. But I really need to make it priority next year to grow broccoli and freeze as much as possible because we just eat so much of it. I'm only going to put a few of these carrots here because we might be sharing this section with the cucumber. Because that might be a lot of cauliflower. You hear him? He's in there saying, yay! That man loves him some cauliflower. We should make priority to cut that too. Is this the one that doesn't cut well, or is it backwards? I think this thing is on backwards. Well, now it's backwards and, well, not backwards. We're just going to cut a few of these to make it extra pretty. And I've got some pickling cucumbers growing out there that were also good as a slicer, so hopefully we will be able to have some of that too. Sister, I've got a whole bunch of stuff over here in this bin for your chickens for in the morning. And everybody's getting hungry. Sister's gonna try out that minute rice we made, which I don't even know if that video's out yet, but I've been making her some minute rice and she is just going to wing it. That's definitely my daughter, to not look up instructions and just figure it out on her own. And we are going to leave this spot open for cauliflower and see how it goes. And again, I need to grow my own cauliflower because this isn't even the best quality. And I don't know about you, but I feel like even cauliflower has shrinkflation going on. Oh my goodness. You know what he says? He's complaining because I haven't sat down at all. He needs a lap. And he's very desperate for it. Okay. So that's what we got going on here. It has this cool little cup in the middle. We will eat from this and make our plates from this container, and then whatever's left we'll stick in here. I'll put more veg in, and then we'll leave this in the fridge to snack on the rest of the week. Now I need to try this and make sure that it is at consistency and flavor wise. Gotcha. Anyway, let's try it out. What are you doing? Are you sneaking to get a little snacky snack? Do you want to try it?
Yeah.
You want me to dip it?
No.
So you can try it. I think it might need some more salt.
I think you've got it. You got it on your nail and then you put it in your hair.
Okay, try it and see if you need some salt. Because I think it needs salt. And then we got a mess to clean up. And we need to eat dinner still. Show them that face. Show them. She's over there like this. Salt? Or is it good?
It's good and it needs salt.
You heard it from the kid
It
herself.
literally just tastes like hummus.
Girl loves hummus, by the way. Okay, so I'm going to add more salt and we're going to eat. Anyway, thanks so much for hanging out with us. Gets crazy around here sometimes. But anyway, again, thanks for hanging out with us. You hear the bird. You know, dinner time, cooking, she gets crazy. Things get crazy. Anyway, love you, bye-bye. See, this is why we can't have nice things. The chickens tear it up. We've got sister over there taking down that old tarp. We're gonna put that up too real quick. But we're gonna work on getting these covered with frost fabric and the chickens covered so everything has shelter from the freeze that's coming. So me and the family are running around out here. You might be able to tell it's getting pretty dark out here. We've got the frost fabric on here. Now we're gonna go fix up her chicken coop. At least they'll be warm tonight. And then we'll have to add in the blockers. My idea is to keep them suckers in for now. Anyway, y'all sister's got jokes. She says expectation versus reality. She cracks me up. Anyways, we're in a rush. I might make modifications to it later. We are not usually supposed to have a frost this early. It's November 1st. We usually get it a month from now. So we just, once I saw it was coming, I ordered some frost fabric because I still have a ton of summer stuff and we're gonna have really nice weather after this. So there's no point in me losing what I got going on now when I wasn't planning on it. I have other things that I need to get in the ground and they're not ready because 1 month. I still have 1 month. But anyway.
What are you doing?
A lot bigger than the other one.
Is it? I don't know if it's wide. I don't know if it's as wide as the other one. Look, this is my frost protection for my tiny tomatoes under there. So I want to have it about this height to make a bumper of some sort to keep the chickens from jumping up and over, but that will leave their nesting boxes open from this little bit. We have a wall behind us, but all of this will be open to make a bumper, and I think any lower and they're just going to jump on our bumper. So if you have ideas on what we can do, let us know. I think for now, since it's going to be super cold, we'll just zip tie it in place so they can be warm, and then we'll make modifications as necessary. Even this height, it still has holes for their boxes. Can you guys see if the other side is covered? I'm more concerned about the other side being covered because...
Same height, a little bit lower.
Okay, we'll pull it.
Down to here.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's a little lower on
Yeah.
that side. So we'll try that out. Any ideas to keep the chickens from going up and over would be great.
Spikes.
Like for pigeons?
Yeah.
Like on the gas things?
Yeah. Tie lead weights to the feet.
Sister would love those options. Try to figure out how we can do this to stop them from jumping over and keep them warm. You goofballs! You dinosaur descendants!
Ooh, what the heck? What white chicken was that?
Hey Daddy, what do I always say? Somebody must have been real desperate to see a chicken lay an egg and then decide they wanted to eat it.
Yeah.
And now we value eggs. Here's another one.
Get out of here.
Okay, so looks pretty good.
Ah, the rooster's out.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them running around now. I'll help you catch them. Looks pretty good for now. Thank goodness it's not windy because all I have is some bricks on these. So fingers crossed we won't have wind tomorrow because this might be fun if not.
Love you, bye.
Love you, bye.